The Dove Network welcomes you to the following presentation of Double Dropkick Podcast.
You know what tonight is? After a week off, it is DDK Saturday night, coming to you live through the power of your internet. We're so happy that all of you are welcoming, or all of you are welcome here. We're glad that you're joining us tonight. Whether you're watching us live tonight from around the world, or if you watch this later to get you through your day, your work day, so many of you do. Thank you for all the messages last week and all the continued support that you give this program. I love seeing those screenshots of you guys watching, and we'll share those, some of those with you tonight. We've got a packed show for you tonight, one that I have been waiting on for a little over a month when we got this done and booked. We've got Michael, the Maniac Herman, owner of Retrosoft Studios and team lead of Retromania Wrestling, coming to you live tonight. It's going to be a great one. We're so excited for it. The comments are flying off. You guys, as always, rock it out. Remember to put those DDKs up. Do this channel a favor. The only thing that we ask is that you always send us your feet pictures. No, I'm just kidding. Click that thumbs up button. Just take a time out. All you got to do is scroll right down from where you're commenting right now and click that thumbs up button. If you don't, we just kick you out of the chat and you're never welcome back. No, I'm just kidding. So we're going to have a fun time tonight. Then we'll also have the DDK belt bar coming up. We will also get in to a little new segment that will debut tonight as well. We'll have some ongoings of the hobby. We'll talk about that too. And it's going to be a fun night because, you know, we'll kick it off with the DDK Saturday night. We have flown in our guest. I think he's arrived. So we'll get him in the limo, get him all his makeup all adjusted. As you know, I am KEV Kev. And as always, I've got my main man, my co-host, Mr. Ethan Thompson. Welcome him to the show. What's up, buddy? Hey, man. Do I have you on mute? I sure do.
What, I mean, what's good? I mean, I know it's only a week, but I feel like it's just so much longer.
Hold up your hands. Let me see all your hands. Let me see your hands. You got all 10 fingers. Got all 10 fingers, baby. Nobody blew them up. There you go. There you go. How many retards are out there? You got to know. Tip of the day. When you light the fuse, don't stare at it. Throw it. You'll keep things intact.
You know what turned into my favorite videos? The ones where the people in the wheelchairs were trying to light fireworks and they couldn't back up very fast.
Terry! Oh, Lord!
Just
Terry!
hilarious.
Terry! Oh, Lord! Terry! Yeah, that dude couldn't eat it. I mean, he was panicking.
Oh, love him.
I get that, but the dude, he's like, I'm gonna act like I'm concerned about you. And this is great content. Terry! Oh my God, Terry!
Right?
I mean, he wasn't even helping him.
It was low key. It was low key good 4th of July. I mean, didn't do any fireworks related. Hung out with the girlfriend. We got some pizza, watched a movie. You know, just chill.
You got a new belt in the background. What's up with that? What's up with that?
That's my
the Ultimate Warrior. The Ultimate Warrior.
the 5-minute wrestler. I mean, he was burnt out before he even got to the ring. That's why you always.
Well, yeah, that's your opinion. You also think the greatest tag team around is, I'm just
the
saying,
Rock and Roll Express.
We will go
Everybody
there.
knows that. Everybody knows. Look. Everybody knows that the greatest tag team of all time is these guys right here.
Here they go! Double drop kick! Takes him down. Ricky goes for the pin. They have him.
Come on, man.
You know how I judge a tag team? If they can't make it in Retromania,
that should be the new standard.
I don't want them.
No, wait a minute. We've got to get midnight.
We'll get into that.
We'll get midnight.
Into that.
We got to get him in there. Jim Cornette, I know you watch this show religiously. You're constantly cussing me out on Twitter, so I know you watch this show. Quit being a lame-o. Get in the game. Yes, they will let you talk about your mama. Put your money's mama in there. Your money can. Tell your mama to buy Retrosoft and put you whatever in the game.
I'll also give you a free cut for the month, Jim. Free cut for the whole month, front and backyard.
Yeah, don't be a jobber. I mean, come on, you can't do that. But Ethan, what do the folks got to do that are just tuning in tonight? What do we always ask them each week they got to do to be a part of the show?
Simple thing, man. Just go ahead and hit that like button, hit that share button, and subscribe. And also you can do. Just go to the comments, leave a comment, be like Keith, be like Chris, be like Platinum, be like all these guys, and just leave a comment. It helps the algorithm. It keeps it going. We appreciate the interaction.
Yeah, this show is all about the hobby, all about things around wrestling, the wrestling belts, wrestling gaming. And the show's for you, to be informative to you, the belt hobby, to inform you about the scammers and things that come up. And we love having all of our guests that we've brought on this show throughout the hobby, from leather guys to belt makers, and some great ones to come. And you do not want to miss the July 29th show that's coming up. Is it 29th or the 26th? I think it was 26th.
26th. Yeah.
Yeah, the 26th. That's going to be a spectacular show. We're doing that too. But Ethan, tell people where they can find us.
You can find us on Instagram. Go to Double Dropkick Podcast. Find us there. You can find us on X, man. Kev is the King X at Double Drop DDK Podcast. And then you can find us on Facebook at Double Dropkick Podcast.
That is it. I got to turn that page into a page where you just follow instead of. I don't know what I did with it. But yeah, I'm sorry that you got to click and I have to click you on. I'm sorry. We get way too many guys from the Penitentiary Network in New York that just hit on us constantly and like, hey guys, how you doing? And
they see me and they're like, look at that piece of Little Debbie. And
like they love the gray in your beard for some weird reason. I don't understand why.
It's traction. It's miles, man.
Hey, the other thing the folks got to do is check out C4 Authentic Belts. They are the only ones in all the years that have finally partnered with Crumrine themselves. They are the only ones that have done it. They have the cast pieces that were on the original Crumrine, the wrestlers and the Stoneholders, and their belt, their Crumrine belt, is made by an authentic,
beautiful
Smith. It is the family of the original. It is the Ortiz family that is doing it. You have to check them out over on Facebook. Colin is the owner. He is a fantastic person. But these are the only guys that are partnered with us, with Crumrine and a silversmith, actually hand carving over 76 hours to make this belt, just to carve it, just like the original was done with Crumrine's partnership. So check out C4 Authentic Belts on Facebook and find out all about it over at c4authenticbelts.com. And remember, C4 Authentic Belts taking you back to like it's 1986. There's another guy that you got to check out, Mark Championship Leather. He has some re-leathering opening opportunities for you. You'll want to check him out for your re-leathers on all of your belts. He is a great guy. And if you mention that you saw this on DDK, you'll get a 10% off discount on his re-leathering services. And I promise it doesn't.
It is stanky. It is stanky.
Stanky leather. But you got to check out those guys on Thursday night. They got a great podcast too. Spending the Glow podcast every Thursday night, 8 p.m. Eastern. Mark, Andy, Richard, and Ben. They do a fabulous job. Get them to their subscriber count. They're getting that out and getting it going up there. Once they get to a subscriber count, they are also going to give away a belt. They do a fabulous and wonderful job over there talking wrestling and all the great stuff over there.
They have a unique thing in this hobby.
What's that?
They have one of the only hosts that goes coast to coast with the host of the most with the pot roast of the roast.
His videos are hilarious. Hilarious.
Oh, awesome. And he's almost learned how to click off a stream. Almost. We're getting there.
I think Mark helped him out with getting that. I think our guest has arrived up to the DDK Club. He is coming out of the limo. We are going to bring him in and talk all about this incredible game that people need to find out. It's across all platform, folks. It's Retromania Wrestling. You can get it on Steam for Nintendo Switch, on Xbox, and on PlayStation. They're all in their store. You just go in those stores, you search for Retromania Wrestling, you buy it there, you download it straight onto your PC or any gaming platform. Very easy, very simple to do. If you don't know how to do it, then you don't need to work any devices or ever play gaming ever again. Just throw it all away because you're really. So remember to do that, and remember when the new DLC drops, you're only allowed to play with the Rock and Roll Express, and if you ever lose with them, you will be kicked off of this program. But you got to do that. We're going to bring him on right now. He is ready to come on. We're going to talk all about this game, show some highlights of it, show what it's all about, and talk with our guy. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to welcome to the program Mr. Mike Herman. He is the owner and team lead on this game, Retrosoft Studios and Retromania Wrestling. So, folks, please welcome to the program Mr. Mike. Oh wow, he's getting a big time applause.
He deserves one, frankly. I mean, with this game.
How you doing, Mike? How's welcome in, man?
Good. How you guys doing? Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.
We're excited. Look at everybody in the comments. We're gonna say hello to everybody while Mike is right here on the screen. Look, what does the top supporter get? If you're the top commenter tonight, we'll get my tidy whities and also a little bit of extra fun with that. What if it gets you 1,000? There you go. Get to the DDK bar. And get whatever it is that you want and need. He is going in the comments. Hello, Nick. How you doing there, buddy? Welcome into the program. Mark, Richard Ward. Everybody jumping in, saying hello. There's Christopher Rains. How you doing?
Hello, Christopher.
Hello, Lisa. We said hello. Richard Ward into the program tonight. He is also a co-host on that program.
From the host.
There's Jim. How you doing, Jim? Look at there. Oh, everybody throwing up the DDKs in the chat. That's what I love to see.
Throw them up if you have all your fingers still.
Yeah.
Let's safety check.
Wrestling bonkers. How you doing there, buddy? Platinum in there. Everybody's saying hello, getting a good time. We hope this program gets you away from everything, away from this craziness of this world, get you away from deer, get you away from everything that's going on in the world. Lane,
special shout out to the men over there in uniform, like AD Terry and stuff like that, that are allowing us to have a fantastic Independence Day. Appreciate you guys. We love you guys.
Big Boys Belts checking in. Deuce Legends, how you doing? Yes, right here on the Dab Network. Max, all the way from Pakistan, NW Belts. Good evening, buddy. How you doing? Big Boys Belts checking in. Christopher Rains. Hey, Reginald, good to see you, buddy. Guy that supports the program. Thank you so much for coming in. Oh, yeah! Glad that you are here. Good evening to you as well. We've got a great guy that we're going to talk with. So you had an eventful week there last week there, Mike. Did you not?
Yeah, so we were scheduled to do this last Saturday, and unfortunately, some deer had other ideas, jumping out in front of my car, going 80 on the turnpike. So are you an opportunist like I am? I would have jumped out, grabbed a rifle, and been like, you got to pose. That'd have been some buckshot in that rifle to take care of it out like that.
Yeah, well, you were saying you didn't even realize that you had hit him. I guess you were in one of them Pfizer tanks or what? Was that a
I knew
bump?
I hit it. But I didn't think. It's funny. I didn't think there was that much damage. As stupid as that sounds, and then once I got out of the car and my whole right front end was almost gone.
So how fast were you going? Because I've been passenger to hitting a deer, and we were doing like 90.
Yeah,
I
was going 80.
Yeah, and it happens. I don't know for you, but it's slowed down so fast for me. We're going down the freeway, and all of a sudden I see eyeballs.
Benny?
Yeah.
And all of a sudden the eyeballs hit the A-pillar and the body wraps around and smacks the door. And I was just like, what just happened?
Yeah, I got it right. I mean, I saw it coming in, and there was a car to the left of me. I was in the non-passing lane, so I couldn't really move. And there was a car right behind me, and I wasn't going to slam the brakes on because I just figured it's better to hit the deer than to get in an accident with people and possibly hurt somebody else.
True story.
We just hit it.
Reginald, we're kicking you out. Look at all these people that are like, yeah, I have it for the Switch 2. Retromania rocks. All these people that love this
Love
game.
it.
Hello, Wayne. How you doing? 1 a.m. There you go in the UK. People join us all across the world. We welcome you in. Norm over there where is Norm located there, buddy? In
Malaysia, right?
There, people say we don't have people that watch in Malaysia, but anyway. Retromania on Switch. It is an unbelievable game. That's why I wanted to talk to him all about it. Mike, you are the owner of Retrosoft Studios. How did that part of all this begin? When did you start the studios, and what made you get and decide to, you know what, I want to pull my hair out and deal with a bunch of people and make video games and have people on Twitter constantly tell me what to do and make a DDK arena and a DDK tag team named Kevin and Ethan?
Yeah, so it really started when I was 15 when the game WrestleFest came out.
Mm-hmm.
Which, for those who don't know, an arcade game came out in 1991, and I fell in love. There was a game before it called Superstars, WWF Superstars, that I liked as well. But WrestleFest really was my favorite all-time game. Fast forward then when years later when emulation started happening, there was an emulator called Rain. It was before MAME could really do it, but then I could emulate and play WrestleFest for the first time at home. And I was like, oh, man, this is awesome. So I did that for years, and then finally I was like, what would have been great if I can add some additional wrestlers to WrestleFest. So I was at the time, this is kind of like 2010, I want to say, and I was on a forums, before everybody did Discord, your just typical forums, which are still around, probably not utilized quite as much as they used to be, but there was a forum called the Wrestling Legends Forum. And it was video games. It was, e-feds, a whole bunch of wrestling stuff. And I got on there. There was a WrestleFest forum. So a couple of us decided we were going to remake. We were just going to do a remake of WrestleFest and code it ourselves. So we made a little web page to promote it. It was all going to be free. It was just a hobby. And then I put up a picture of Hogan and I think the Road Warriors at the time, and I got a cease and desist within a month from the WWE.
Oh.
So
what's going on with that, WWE? Let us have some fun.
Right.
After looking into it, they're doing what every company does. You have to protect your IP, or anybody is allowed to use it. So I get why they did it. It wasn't a huge deal, but it kind of did deter it, because the part of the fun of doing projects like this is doing it with the community. You know what I mean? You want other people to see it. You want to get feedback from other people. You want to do it as a kind of a online community thing, and it definitely deterred us. So fast forward maybe 6 years later after that, and I'm like, am I going to do this or not? I picked it up and put it down a couple of times, and finally I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna hire some artists, I'm gonna hire some programmers, and we're gonna make a spiritual successor to WrestleFest. and we're going to call it Retromania Wrestling. So that kind of started, I would say, 2016, 2017, and then it really started picking up steam in 2018, 19. Then we finally released in 2021.
So actually, we can thank WWE for pissing you off and getting the gears
Right.
going and being like, okay, WWE, you want to go to the Monday Night Wars again? You can take this and shove it straight up. Oh, excuse me. Thank you. But yeah, and how many? Let's ask this first. So you obviously loved wrestling as a kid. Tell me how that developed, how you got into wrestling, and who you liked growing up. We know the Rock and Roll Express was your favorite growing up,
And the Ultimate Warrior is your favorite singles wrestler.
Yeah,
I mean, you don't even have to, like legit. They were. So I grew up in outside of Philadelphia. So if anyone's in that area, it was NWA was on channel 17 at 1:00. WWF was on at 11 o'clock on channel 29, I believe it was.
Okay.
It's funny. The first time I ever watched wrestling, sleepover at my one house down, a friend of mine. I'd never seen wrestling. I think I was 10. It was maybe 9 because it was right before WrestleMania. It was like a year before WrestleMania happened. And he's like, "You got to watch wrestling. It's 11 o'clock." I'm like, "What's wrestling?" Like, I had no idea. I had no idea what it was. And I watched it. It was awesome. I instantly fell in love. So later, the next week, I guess I woke up late or was looking to try to find it, and I missed it. But I ended up watching the NWA, and it was all different wrestlers, than I saw the first time I watched it. I'm like, all right, this is cool. And I made a note to remember, all right, it's on at 1:00. And I just started watching the NWA. And we didn't talk about it that much initially, but then I started talking to my friends, and they're like, yeah, did you see the Junkyard Dog? I'm like, no, who's that? I'm like, I was watching the Rock and Roll Express and Magnum TA and Dusty Rhodes.
that's
and
right.
They're like, who are they? Like, I don't even know who they are.
We're real wrestlers.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Even then, and I didn't know. I was complete kayfabe. You know what I mean? I thought hook, line, and sinker. I thought it was all legit. I didn't think anything was predetermined, and and NWA was the real. And then we thought that WWF was a little suspect. You know what I mean? It was like we weren't sure about that, but NWA, that was the real one. That was definitely the real one. It wasn't like Glow, which was big at the time as well. You know what I mean? Where you
right?
That was just entertainment. So eventually, I kind of figured it out that there were two different promotions. But I mean, I loved Magnum TA was my first. That was my guy, Magnum TA. And then the Rock and Roll Express were right there too. There was that kind of little. They weren't an official stable or anything, but it was kind of like all those guys against the Four Horsemen. It was the Rock and Roll Express. It was Dusty Rhodes. It was Magnum TA against the Horsemen, and that I loved it, and it was amazing. So that's where my love started.
It's and a lot of people that grew up in that era. Let's see. Wayne says either White was. Oh yeah. Yes, or young William. Yeah, right, Wayne. Yeah, I like the picture there, Wayne, with the cat in there. Big cat people here.
Very judgmental kitty too.
Yeah, he's like, what's he doing down? I see you watching, Tyler. Now you'll be on your Tinder date in about 10 minutes. NWA, I always say WWF was characters. They were the over the top kind of characters, guys. NWA was the guys that you used to see down at the bar who could whip your tail. They were all the big bad guys in the neighborhood. And it was a very, very two different styles of wrestling. And that's why I liked watching both. You had the over the top characters, face painting, all this other and styles in the WWE, and Hulk Hogan and this guy and the names. And then over here, it's just Arn Anderson and Tully Blanchard. But these guys were just completely different, and it would look like guys that would beat you up down at the bar. It was very different wrestling. Yeah, and I always thought, in my opinion, still today, that I thought the NWA did the kayfabe more. It was more believable. Yep. They made you hate the way they were on the microphones. It was they handed them the mic and they went on about it. And the WWF did the time where they kind of did an interview with rest in peace. Who was it that died? Their guy that did all their interviews back, Mean Gene Oakland. And did with it. All right, nobody, But when you watch the TV show and the studio shows, when the Horsemen would come out, everybody talk. I mean, they just always so good, and that's where my love came for it. So you talked about that. Did you ever, as a kid, be like, man? Did you have the belt fashion, like the belt addiction, or I want one of those wrestling belts, or look at it and be like, I want one of those? It'd be because I saw you go grab something earlier and hold it up. What is that there that you're holding? Tell us about it.
So this is a one of a kind.
Look at that!
All right.
So this has been defended once by Tommy, or not defended, won by Tommy Dreamer against Warhorse. The match actually happened in real life, which was kind of a culmination of the game, and it was back at Nova's official retirement match in New Jersey back in 2022, December of 2022. But it was just something I had made, kind of a little pat on my own back to make the game. And but growing up, I had something similar to this, but it was made out of cardboard. An old cowboy belt, which I fashioned and taped. And that was my championship belt, who was passed around between me and a couple of my cousins, who we would wrestle. And, we'd have matches, and luckily no one got hurt because we thought it was all legit, and a couple scary spots. But yeah, I'm just seeing like nothing like you guys have, and I think your audience has, but I definitely, I always dreamed of having one. Eventually I got one made for myself.
No, you're legit. You have a ring used belt, and that's the pinnacle. And you need to always they do that. You need to join Ride World of Belts, Big Boys Belts, and some of the other Facebook groups, and post that up. Right. I didn't know that existed, or it was even through all the knowing the game and then doing a whole bunch of research for what can I show, what can I what can I do, trying to pack everything in an hour. I never knew that existed. So I'm like standing here just showing my hiney off to a bunch of people, not knowing. That is incredible. And I'd love for you to send me some pictures of that belt so we can post it up in the group and take a look. A couple people knew about that and knew about what was going on with that. But now I want to get into this game. And before we get into this game, I want to show everybody just a little tidbit of what Retromania wrestling is all about. Take a look at this.
Welcome to Retromania Wrestling!
It gets you so hyped. It gets the old school feeling. We were talking about it beforehand. It's just an old school feel game with such new gen technology and looks, and how incredibly they look. the details that you guys, the chase for the 10 pounds of gold, there's so many things that we're going to get into now here, and the customization that you guys are putting into this. But as we go over this, and we'll pull up the first bit here on the screen to take a look at how many is on their team doing this, and what type of, I mean, this is not some small little project that you guys have done this, and to be getting it on all of the different platforms as we talked about. How many is on this team that goes through this to make a game like this possible? Give us a little glimpse into that.
Yeah, so I would say from the start till now, we've had over 50 people work on the game. Now that's not full time 50 for like a year or two, but the number of sprites, so the artwork we have is sprite artwork, which was used mostly, in the 80s, 90s, before the 3D era of video games really started. And we did that old school hand drawn sprite work, and each wrestler has like 1,500 to 2,000 sprites now. So most of that 50 people is artists. Right now, working on this DLC and finishing it up, we have eight programmers who are working on the game to add everything that we're doing into that. So it's a big team now, and it's just, there's so many things I wanted to do with this game, and I feel like when we first released it, we hit a lot of them, and then we did a couple of free updates to get us to where the point of the game is right now. But I'm telling you, the when you get the DLC, this is our first paid update to the game in 4 years. So we've done 4 free updates. Part of those updates were, Chris Bay we added, Mr. Hughes, and James Storm. They were free updates before, but we've put so much into this. It's going to feel like a new game to people who've been playing it for 4 years and been with us since the beginning. It's going to feel like an entirely new game. We've added so much new stuff to it.
Yeah, we're looking at it here. You're now up to was it 21 wrestlers now? I think it is now.
Well, so it's currently 19, and then when the DLC comes out, we'll be at 25.
Right.
That's September, right?
Yeah, September 13th.
And then you guys, as you're seeing on the screen, you can go 2 to 8 multiplayers. You guys can read this as we go to. You can go to retromaniawrestling.com and check out all this stuff that we are showing here. That's all you got to do is go check out retromaniawrestling.com for all the stuff that if you've missed or you need to rewatch that. But there's over 50 different type match things that you can go through, 21 arenas. There's ring entrances. There's entrance music. There's multiple ring attires for each wrestler that you guys doing. You guys got strategy as it comes on here. The sprites that you were talking about, over 700 frames of animation and animated backgrounds. The crowd chants, they react to it. So it's got an old school feel with such new school technology and vibe to it. And then you got the match commentary from Ian and Colt. Talked about how that worked out to get them to be able to do the commentary.
So when we first started development, I was watching a ton of Ring of Honor. Was really the only thing I was religiously watching at the time, and I really liked Colt and Ian's on commentary, and I think they had just won or about to win commentator team of the year from Bill Apter. Had voted them commentators of the year. So I really like them on commentary. And Ian actually lives near me, not too far away. So he's pretty local. So I just reached out to the two of them, and I'm like, hey, would you guys be interested in doing some commentary lines for the game? And they're like, yeah, we'd love to. And it was that easy. They were on board immediately, and they really loved the idea.
Yeah, and what I loved about you guys are doing and this comment with the tag titles, you're even going and showing some of the titles and how you want people to carry them. And you've asked, hey, do you like this carrier, that you got this carrier? Can you speak on this about titles that maybe added or maybe coming or you guys are working on, and talk about what we just talked about, that you guys are asking, hey, which do you like? You were asking the folks, how do you like, which one did you like better of the just the wrestler carrying the belt into the arena, which I thought was a fabulous point to do, and how much you guys listen to your fans and that play your game, unlike a lot of bigger developers like EA and some of these big guys that just ignore everything. You guys really listen to your fans and people that play your game.
Yeah, I mean, it's a best feedback. When you get lucky, you can get a good core. I think we have a really good core audience now who is they're brutally honest, but they're professional about it. Like, I have no problem with people criticizing us or mistakes that I made. You can point the finger at me because at the end of the day, I'm the one who's making the decisions on it. But the people voice their opinions, and as long as you do it like politely, I'm happy to take as much criticism as you can give me. I want to make the game as good as you guys want it to be. This is the game I always wanted, and that's kind of the whole goal of this, is to make a fun 2D action arcade wrestling game. And I think there's a lot of people out there that feel the same way, that want something like this. And I'm not knocking 2K or the AEW games. We offer something different. That's all. We offer a different play style, something you can pick up and play a couple matches and put it down. A ton of variety, and with these roster additions that are coming out in September, I think if we really complete the roster, you have the roster up here. You're just missing the mystery character who we're going to announce shortly. But other than that, that's going to be the new roster coming up.
We can announce it now. It's me.
It's a DDK tag team. It's okay.
I hit him with an IV bag. I hit him with an IV bag.
You smashed your idea with the simplicity of, a retro 2D game, because if you look at like the bigger games, the bigger games, I just stopped enjoying after a while because they're just so like, to me. But you take this game and it's simple. It's that 2D. It gives you the nostalgia you want, because we're all wrestling fans. We all have that nostalgia. We all want wrestling to be what it was in the 80s and 90s. And, we look at it today and we're like, but it is what it is. But you really smash that idea of that 2D, just good game. You got your variety of stories. You have just good job.
No, thanks. And it's definitely, we left it as there's 4 main buttons you use from. You don't have to use all the buttons on it. We added, obviously in addition to the 4 action buttons, there's a tag button and a taunt button. But we've added in this new update, I just want to we really focused a lot on some new tag team mechanics as well. Obviously, we have the Rock and Roll Express, the greatest tag team ever, right, Kev? So
that's right.
Add some stuff, a double drop kick in there.
Oh, it's so good. It's so good.
We added some more control over which double team moves you do, and some additional stuff into the game to give you a little more strategy. Adding drop downs and leapfrogs into the game to just add a little bit more variety to the game as well, and just to keep it fresh, like I said, so that when that September update hits, it's going to feel like a new game if you've been playing it for a couple of years.
Yeah, and you guys put all of this on your social media feeds. You talk about this all the time with your stuff, and what you're building and what you're doing, and you talk about it a lot. And that's where people need to keep up with it over at retromaniawrestling.com and at Retrosoft Studios on Instagram and X. They show all this stuff. They show the new dynamics where the Rock and Roll Express he tags in Ricky Morton. He throws Demolition to the ropes. He goes down. Demolition drops over, and boom, Ricky hits him with a drop kick. It's so good, and those little things are absolutely spectacular and add so much to the game that it's incredible. Now, this part here is talking about how many different rings, and this is where it gets to where, you guys didn't try to just take it simple. You could have I would have thought just 10 rings or places, but you guys put a lot of work into these arenas. Tell people how long it just takes just to make an arena and get that, as we show the different arenas here. We'll start out with the ballroom and the beach. Is there anything that you wanted to talk about these two, and then we'll show each one as we go? But this is the ballroom and the beach.
Well, I just want to shout to Corey is our lead environmental artist, and he did a lot of the move animations too later down the road with the newer stuff. He is super talented. The detail, people, the camera, you zoom in on the ring most of the time unless you go outside of the ring, but the level of detail in the audience, we threw, like, there's some throwback stuff. There was a game called Map Mania That was one of the very, very first wrestling games. And they had like Darth Vader and Princess Leia in the audience before real copyright and trademark was really an issue about doing stuff like that. But if you look, we'll have like some dragons in it. And I see somebody saying about the Too Many Games arena is the best. So many Easter eggs in it. Yeah, we have a couple of gaming conventions in here as well. But the beach and ballroom, we're just I love the beach one. You can see the waves when it's animated in the game. You see the waves in the background. Just to have some variety. And we have 3 new ones coming in the DLC as well. But the ones already in there are just fantastic. I think the ones that are the coolest are probably the gaming ones that he did. Not that I don't love them all, but there's also another kind of one for Matt Cardona and Brian Myers for their podcast. And we used something similar to a toy ring that you would have saw in the 80s and 90s.
Yep, we're getting ready to. Yep, we're getting ready to show that one.
Yeah, which was really cool too. But the BWO one I love. I've gotten to know all 3 members of the BWO, all great guys. I've really enjoyed getting to know them a little bit, and I've spent a couple of days with them at various conventions and things, and they're just all 3 of them were great. And this one was added to one of the free updates, and I just really wanted to do that because all the help they gave me. Never had to ask them to post anything. They would always do it on their own. They were just super easy to deal with. They were really helped me out in getting the word out. So I'm like, I want to pay tribute to those guys. I'm going to make it the Blue World Order Arena. And that's one of the cool ones. All the pictures in the background are animated that move around.
Yep. Then you have your British arena here.
That's across the pond. I think maybe it was a little overboard with all the flags, but we definitely – maybe if somebody knows anybody could give me rights to Big Daddy and Giant Haystacks, maybe we can figure something out.
Yeah. There you go on that. And then you have this next set here. Let us know all about these ones from the gym and the agency.
Yeah, so the Corluzzo Brothers Collection Agency. This was an angle that if people know the promoter, Dennis Corluzzo, back in the 80s, early 90s, he was a wrestling promoter on the East Coast. His son was putting on the show that Tommy Dreamer wrestled Warhorse at. That the colors of the gym were similar to the local high school in that area. So that was the one we picked to do that. And that was kind of an angle they were running at the time. And since they were putting on, the whole event was for charity. So this was kind of something to do for them to put their name and their father's name in the game, he was an old school wrestling promoter.
That's awesome.
And in a high school gym is just kind of another version. You figure all indie guys started out in a high school gym at some point.
I love it.
And this is the first place you go when you start the 10 pounds of gold mode. You have to wrestle in a high school gym and work your way up. So that's where we started it.
People do not understand to the things of, wait a minute, NWA went to. I remember many a times going in the 15-minute town away from where we grew up into what was called Little Washington, North Carolina, here on the coast of North Carolina. NWA showed up to a middle school gym quite often. And it was the tag team champions it was the Rock and Roll Express versus the Midnight Express for the United States tag titles. And it was a little middle school gym. They went to that all the time and filled them up. And I love that nostalgia feel that you guys put these gyms in there because people don't understand it harpens back. These guys didn't always go to Hampton Coliseum and Norfolk Scope. They were constantly, they had the noontime show here. Then you had maybe at 2 hours away, you had the 8 p.m. show at Norfolk Scope. And it was all the time that. But I love that you guys put this in there, the high school gym. And it's a really, really great feeling. And even the state champions banner, it looks like wherever they're out, they're a powerhouse because they're always winning. I was like, dang, whoever this school is, they're winning a lot of championships. That's not easy to do. But that was very cool that you put in there, and I think it's a little touch that people my age and about 50 years old and older remember the NWA days, and that they all the time went to school gyms, and it wasn't just high school. It was, like I said, this was a grade school gym that I remember seeing them at a lot of times. The next setup that you got, tell us about here. Which a lot of people I think like with hardcore, the Dreamer in there, but then you got the Japan. So tell us about these two rings that you guys have added in there.
Yeah, so at the time, Dreamer was still running a promotion, the House of Hardcore. So this is kind of a tribute to inspired by the old ECW arena. So with the banners up there and the House of Hardcore logos. So that was pretty cool. And then the Japan one is just something to I'm not super familiar with Japanese wrestling, so we kind of looked online, got some reference material, and came up with something that we thought would look cool in that regard.
Yeah, it's I like that. I like that you added that, because a lot of the guys that you have in this game, and including the Rock and Roll Express, a lot of those guys went over to Japan all the time and wrestled. A lot of the NWA guys did during that time, and a lot of guys that you have in this game did that. So those are those two rings there. They're like, I believe the next one here, you're talking about the toy wrestling ring here with the podcast. But tell us about these two rings, and there's the 70th anniversary. That's the question I want is how did this one come out with the 70th anniversary? Because there had to be something special that you guys were trying to do with the 70th anniversary ring, because I know we got the NWA ring. But tell us about these two rings here.
Yeah, so at the time, the 70th anniversary show was just about to happen. I think they just had the 75 this year. So while we were in the middle of development and towards the end, about a couple months left of development, the 70th anniversary show had. So I thought, that would be cool to add. It was kind of a little bit of a reskin of an existing stage, so there wasn't a ton of new assets needed, but to add a little more variety and kind of pay tribute to a wrestling promotion that was partnering with us that's been in business for 70 years, which is crazy to think that they were in business for 70 years,
Yeah.
So yeah, it was just something to add at the time. We were dealing with Dave Lagana over at the NWA, who was kind of Billy Corgan's right-hand man. So
right.
He was definitely on board with that.
Right. Here's an interesting take too. I think that's very that would be kind of popular. The WCCW ring set, I think would be kind of cool.
So I would love that. So that we get a ton of questions and comments like, you should add this, you should add that. I'd love to have everything. It comes down to what can I get the license for and who owns it, and tracking that license down and making sure whoever says they own it actually owns it, because I've been burnt on that a couple times.
Oh, we know that in the belt industry, we know all about the LLCs and who owns the belts, and who owns the arts, because they always argue over it.
Yeah, so I would love to. I remember World Class used to be on at like midnight in my house in Philadelphia. So that's when it was syndicated out. And I remember watching the Freebirds versus the Von Erichs there. Two other, and I think WCCW is WWE owned now. At least they have the TV rights.
I know the TV rights, yeah.
Definitely. I don't know if they own the trademark and the logo.
And that's a lot of work, because not only do you guys have to do that, I'm supposing that you guys have a lawyer that goes through and has to do a lot of this stuff too when you're talking about licensing agreements and getting this stuff. And can you just maybe 15 seconds touch on, or 30 seconds, that is a lot of work that goes into that. And when you're telling explain that a little bit, and how complex these things are. It's just not putting something on the screen and running with it. It's a lot of background work that you have to go into to be able to do this.
Yeah, absolutely. So the first question you ask is, does WWE own it? Right? That's the first question. You got to find out, does WWE own the rights? If they don't, the trigger is, has anyone else besides the WWE put out an action figure or a video with that property? And if they have, if somebody else has done it, then all right, there's a chance. So I actually use kind of Matt Cardona's company. I go monitor their website. If they come out with a new wrestling figure, he's not working, directly with WWE on any of this. He has his own action figure company. So, you can say, all right, maybe they're available. But even then, they're not always available. But because Matt has different connections than I do. But then you got to try to track somebody down. Are they alive or dead? Who you want to get? If then you got to contact whoever's controlling the estate, because you can't necessarily go to a widow or a brother or a sister. You don't know who to go. And then you blanketly start sending messages on Facebook and, X and other places to try to get a hold of somebody. So it's tough to go through everything.
Right.
It FYI, from 91 to 03, it was owned by K&R Atkinson Enterprises. And then from September 27, 2018 till now, it's owned by WWE.
Yeah.
Trademark and full licensing.
Yeah, there you go.
All right. Now now let's get into the ring. One of my favorites, besides the one that's in the background of ours right now, is the studio setup, and this is the newer studio that they use for their NWA Power, which they were on fire until COVID.
Yeah.
But tell us a little bit about these two rings, the NWA Power, and what led the getting of the Pro Wrestling Tees ring, and how that relationship worked out to make these two rings.
Yeah, so NWA Power, once we had to deal with the NWA to get the belt or the title and get Nick Aldis in the game, we knew we needed a home stage for him. So we wanted to make the NWA Power Arena. So that was kind of a no-brainer. And I did love the throwback idea to the old studio show,
right?
That they had back when I watched it when I was a kid. So.
Yeah.
And then the Pro Wrestling Tees. So Colt Cabana was always involved with Pro Wrestling Tees. So he got me in contact with Ryan over there. And I said, hey, I want to do a Pro Wrestling Tees themed stage. So we have a Pro Wrestling Tees warehouse, and Ryan appears in the game in the story mode. There's a cameo appearance by Ryan, spoiler, that you have to talk to Ryan, because he's concerned that Johnny Retro got injured, and he's his biggest seller on ProWrestlingTees.com. So, I just thought it would be a cool, trying to capture, again, going back to something I said earlier, is trying to capture the community. You know what I mean? People, the wrestling community knows Pro Wrestling Tees. We may not shop there, but you know who they are.
Yeah.
You know the website, you're familiar with it. And I just thought that would be just another cool thing to show. And Corey, again, I just can't say enough good things about him. The way that Pro Wrestling Tees is spray painted on the brick in the background when you get it closer up in game, it just looks amazing.
Let's give him a shout out to that for him doing that. That's pretty awesome and good work. There you go. That ring looks spectacular. I love the kind of like the caution tape looking flag to it around, but the ring, that feel just all hits the NWA. Every one that you did just hits different, and it provides it to a way to get away from a stalemate feel, because each ring brings its own feel, its own memories, its own things. Just like looking at all these belts, you look at a belt, you have a different memory with it, you have a different wrestler with it, and all these different rings that you've got in here, all of them create a different feel as you're going through the game. And I really thought it was really, really well done. This next true set is, I don't know why they stuck this one in there, the Retromania ring. I don't understand that. Maybe you guys can under. But here's the Retromania wrestling ring and the Retromania warehouse. A little bit about this one, these two.
Yeah, so these kind of were our first two. I think the Retromania warehouse, I'll admit that was more of a little bit of a filler one, where we had the Pro Wrestling Tees. We wanted to reuse some assets, and we wanted to add a new one in. But with that said, here's a spoiler to those who have not played the game or have not found this. There is an Easter egg in the Retromania warehouse. Yep. I will give a hint where you have to taunt somewhere outside of the ring when you're on the outside of the ring, and something cool will happen. And I know there's
Vince McMahon comes out,
I saw a couple names from our audience who've made their way over here, who know it, who may spoil it on the chat, which I don't really care. That's all right. But it's a cool little Easter egg.
Are you adding the one where Vince McMahon comes out and poops? I mean, that would be the spectacular Easter egg somewhere in the or him coming out with some toilet paper on his foot walking across the days, and it looks like him. But these are also two great rings. I like the pageantry of the Retromania ring. It looks professional. It looks really, really good. It's very, very clean. These are all just so clean and sharp, and the attention to detail. For me, even the lighting, even the one that we're showing here that's on the backdrop here, that spotlighting And then not all of them are done the same. As you see here on the Retromania wrestling ring, you got the nice glow red and orange, yellow ring. There's just so much attention to detail, and even the blue mats that are down even have the individual lines because they folded out. They were like those mats that you see in grade schools and high schools and tumble mats that you folded out. The attention to detail that you guys have is bar none in this game.
Yeah, it's a 100% passion project.
Yep.
It really is.
The next two rings that we got here that are in the game, you see the brought back of the old grade scoring, but here's another one that I like, the retro ring and the stomp, the STOMP in Paradise. Explain these two rings here for folks that might not understand.
Yeah, so the Stomp in Paradise is another Cardona and Myers thing in their kind of wrestling figure community world. So that was kind of a one that we wanted to do for them. And then Retropalooza is a convention I actually attended. It's in Texas. There's a group of YouTubers called the Game Chasers who I've watched since they've started putting out shows. So one of them puts on Retropalooza. So me and Warhorse went to Retropalooza and had a booth there, and we're demoing the game and selling copies of the game. And then the one real cool thing, if you're going to go through all of them, you'll get to the Too Many Games arena as well. If you throw your opponent into one of the side tables, the whole ring changes. So it's a kind of a little branding opportunity for each of the people on the outside of the ring.
That I didn't know at all.
Yeah.
The thing with this one I've always noticed, and maybe it's just me and some of my weird things, is I felt this ring feels like it's lower to the ground than most of the others. But every time I'm always waiting, and maybe it's just me. Every time I'm playing this one, it feels like I'm seeing a hand get ready to put a CD player or a game in that little slot there and it take it right in. That'd be a cool animation.
Yeah,
but these two rings are good. But this ring is a little bit closer to the ground, correct?
Yeah, I think it is a little bit. I think a lot of it's just perspective of the images that we put on the website,
but it looks great. A fantastic job on these two as well. The next two here we got are the fitness ring and the Too Many Games ring. Explain these for the folks.
Yeah, so Stevie Richards Fitness he has a YouTube channel. Stevie's a great guy. I've got to know him really well over the last couple of years. I talk to him pretty regularly. Just about other stuff outside of video games. He actually managed a game store where I grew up. And I met him there years and years ago. I didn't really know him well then. I had only talked to him maybe once or twice, but we talked about that later now. But this is kind of his fitness arena that we wanted to, part of his deal when he signed with me, he's like, I would like to promote my brand through this somehow. Okay. And I said, we can definitely do that. And then I had the idea of let's make a Stevie Richards gym. And that's the first place you go to in the story mode. You're rehabbing and you're going to the gym. You go to the gym to work out. So, and Stevie actually takes you through the tutorial of the game as well. So that's kind of a cool thing in the story mode. And then Too Many Games is actually a convention right near me in the Philadelphia area. So that's kind of a similar arena to the Retropalooza one.
And it's got another thing with whipping your partner into the vendor table and that little fun little thing there. Yep. The next two rings here, a great looking ring I think is the University Wrestling College ring, and a lot of people like this. I think the fire and it's one that's very very immersive. The Warhorse Horse's Hell ring. Is one I think gives some little kids maybe nightmares at night, but it's spectacular with everything that's in the background. There's so many things when you play this ring that you can't pay attention. I'm sitting there and I'm getting body slammed. Wait a minute, I got to pay attention. Tell us about these two rings because they're really, really cool.
Yeah, so I got to know Austin Idol a little bit, talk to him a little bit, and it's just again something he was gracious enough to license himself to some no name who's never done a video game before, and he was willing to do that. So we wanted to do something for him. He said, "Can we promote my college somehow in the game?" I'm like, "Yeah, we'll do a stage for it," and that's how that came up. And then Warhorse actually jotted this down on a piece of paper, which I still have somewhere. he drew this idea that he had for a stage. And we came up with the Hell Arena. You can actually whip an opponent into the fire and you will catch on fire briefly in that stage. So again, it goes to show the range that our Corey has, who did all these backgrounds, just from something so off the beaten path as the Warhorse Arena, but it just adds a lot of fun variety to the game, and that's what we were after.
Yeah, it really, really, really looks good. And then my favorite, this ring here that is available now. Tell us how this one came about. This one has the great old school, the ring skirt. You nailed the ring skirt. I was so ecstatic when I saw that green. There used to be the yellow one that had the NWA Pro Wrestling on it, which was the same style. It was a yellow and red, and it had Pro where those lines are. But tell us a little bit about this one.
This was the last one we added. I had to reach back out to the NWA and get permission to add the old school logo, because initially they wanted to keep the kind of the newer stuff going, but they were like, yeah, let's do it. And we just kind of gave it that outdoor feeling of an arena outdoors with the old school style ring skirt, which I really love. It came out amazing.
Yeah, I love the old school ring skirt. That's what hits it for a lot of many people. It's not so, it's just that. And I think if there was a little cheek, that yellow and red one would be kind of cool. If you were doing, if you ever had a championship match,
right? The
only way to change it to maybe a yellow red, you'd have the championship match. But I love this ring. It's really, really good, and you can see that there's two great tag teams in there. And I can tell you from this picture right now that the Rock and Roll Express won this match. I can tell you that already. But this was a really, really fun one on that. Yeah, it is. It's really, really, really cool. Hey, I appreciate it. But it's just absolutely fabulous. But we're going to show a little bit of gameplay here. But the thing that I wanted you to tell us is the road to winning the 10 pounds belt. Tell us a little bit about that and what goes all into that, because this is just not putting wrestlers in there and wrestling. There is actually a road to winning the title. And can you go over that just a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely. So that's kind of your classic arcade ladder mode, where you start the game. You have to, in order to unlock the 10 pounds of gold to defend it in like a versus mode, you have to win it from Nick Aldis, who was the champion at the time the game came out. So you have to beat 5 other wrestlers before you get a chance to face Nick Aldis, and the best 2 out of 3 falls inside the old school steel cage to win the belt. And then you have to defend it 6 times to beat the game, so to speak. So 12 matches to win the game and get the credits to roll. And then you unlock the NWA belt, NWA World Championship in versus mode, which you can then just pick whoever you want to go against Nick or to defend it. And one of the cool things I'm going to tie into this, the new game or the DLC that's coming out is going to keep track of title history. So title defenses, who you beat, when you beat, there's a whole set, and it's going to track not only the NWA World Championship, but the World Tag Team Championship and the Retromania Wrestling Championship as well.
No. That is awesome. So almost like a trophy room with some of these football games and keeping a track of that. That's killer. Tell us about the new DLC that is coming and what you're going to get with the new DLC.
Yeah, so we're really excited about this. Like I said before,
I'm glad I have boxers on right now, man. Or you'd be. I'm so excited. I've been waiting for so long. Every time you guys post about it, I'm like, hurry up.
But it's going to feel like a whole new game. It really is. We have in addition to 6 new wrestlers that we're adding, the 3 new stages that we're adding to the game, new tag team mechanics. I should have brought up the list. New game matches, like handicap matches that weren't in the game before. We have 2 completely new game modes. One called House Show. The House Show mode is another kind of arcade thing, arcade high score challenge, where you play through a house show consisting of 4 matches, which randomly puts together matches for you that you play through. And then you earn points to do specific challenge. You have to do a specific challenge in each match, like maybe whip your opponent into all 4 corners.
Oh, okay. Okay. And was there anything you wanted to add into that? I don't think you were finished with.
Oh no, yeah. No, so in addition to the house show mode, we have a tournament mode where you can create tournament brackets and do both tag team and singles tournaments, and you can create your own, and you can create the brackets themselves and play through it. So that's 2 other big game modes. And then we have, of course, the customization aspect where, one of our big knocks is we don't have a creator wrestler in this. And that was kind of some poor design decisions by my part. It's a lot of stuff relating to the budget and having to do even more and more artwork for new moves and stuff. But we are adding a customization option where you can go in now and you can change the colors of all of the characters' default attires and save. I think we have 12 slots per wrestler that you can create 12 different slots, which you can then select in all the different game modes to use.
I got you. The question here was Mark had during the buildup of this, he had downloaded and tried it, and he's Mark was around when Moses was writing the 10 Commandments, so he's not very well gifted in doing the game. But he was like, "Is there a tutorial to help utilize the control?" I'll let you answer that.
Yeah, if you just start story mode, you go into the Stevie Richards Fitness Gym. And there is actually a full tutorial in there so you get the basic controls down. How to do a grapple, how to do a strike, how to run, things like that. Now, we don't go through everything in detail there. All the information can be found online on our website, but there is a brief tutorial at the beginning of story mode to help you get the basics down.
Yep, retromaniawrestling.com. Just go over there and you can see that stuff there too. Another question was, how long did it take the time to make the game, to get it from just the point A and to getting on all these different platforms? I mean, you're continually making stuff for the game, but talk about the all the stuff that goes into trying to get it on all these platforms.
Yeah, I would say since we started like full-blown development, it took 3 years to get the game done. And keep in mind, I am a first-time game developer here at this point. My background is software engineering, but it's all finance and accounting software. And it's funny, if you get creative in finance and accounting, you end up in jail. So you can only really get creative in video games.
Oh, wow. That's great.
It took probably about 3 years to get the initial game done, and the last really 4 or 5 months where we were porting it to all the consoles. Initially we wanted to release everything at the same time, and we ended up not doing that. We released Steam first, and then a month later we released. It might have been it was a month later we released Xbox and the Switch, and I think the people on PlayStation had to wait another month after that before they got it.
Right. But it's on all platforms. All you got to do,
on all platforms, yeah.
Just go in there and type in Retromania Wrestling. It comes right up. It says, do you like DDK and watch DDK? You have to click yes, and then it provides you to the screen with whatever. But there's a lot of things that people are asked for. The thing that I've seen most doing research for the show, because I wanted to see what a lot of people. It was asked a lot about the Midnight Express. And then I also saw a lot of asking for Ivan Koloff where we had the Russians in there as well. He lived in one town over, and I can tell you he was one of the most humble person. His wife is absolutely spectacular. Is there any plans or what you guys maybe a sneak peek of what you are trying to do or trying to get? And
would love to get the Russians in there. So at some point, I still have. I'm not done. I'll just put it that way. We're not done in the wrestling video game world. So I can say that much.
When will DDK ring be entered? I know a lot of people ask that all the time, and I keep trying to tell people if you'll just,
Number one question for some reason. I don't.
if you guys will just calm down, we'll get it into the game. Just be patient; it's coming. But just let everybody know now that the DDK ring is coming, so everybody can calm down. And
It's in the works.
Yeah, it's in the works. People, just relax. It's coming.
There's a licensing dispute, I think, over something.
Yeah, I mean,
Don't worry. I can even draw it for you. I got you.
Look, 25 cents. You've got me down to 25 cents. So I've got to stop there. I mean, do you know how hard it is to go to the daggone grocery store now, and you got to put that quarter in to be able to use that stupid cart to go into and so I need that quarter. So that's what it is.
I accept food stamps.
Yeah. EBT will work. Cruiser, you technically already have. Oh yeah, that is true. That is true. And, an old Soviet era warehouse where the Soviets wrestled. Oh, that would be kind of like oh yeah, with all the iron and I mean, that's just, those guys made you believe that they were Russian. They were absolutely spectacular, and one of the great tag teams of all time as well.
Yeah, I got a chance to meet Nikita a couple times. He's a great person as well.
When he talks, you're like, first time I met him, I was like, "Can you stop?" What's wrong? I was like, "You're freaking me out. Can you just talk?" And he went right back into, "Okay, Kevin, I talk to you like that." That's better. That's better. You said, "You're scaring me with the other." I don't know what you ever do, but these guys were good at their craft, and I've said it many, many times. When the first time I ever met Arn Anderson, I was like, "I hated you," and he smiled and laughed, and people like, "Oh, in the background, oh, you're wrong, you're wrong." And I was like, "That was his," and he goes, "Let me stop." He's like, "Thank you." He's like, "So many people come in here and say they were fans of Iron Wrestling." He says, "If y'all were all fans during that, I wouldn't have got pennies thrown at me, nickels, quarters, purses." And he says, "That means I did my job." And those guys did back then. If you had heat on them, if you hated them, and I've told this story too, there was one night where I think it was the Midnight Express and Rock and Roll and it had Big Bubba out there, and there was two old ladies, and I think there was a third one, or maybe it was their daughter. She was a little older, but anyway, three old people down there. These ladies on the front row had pennies, rolled up pennies in their purse, and they were throwing them at the wrestlers. And this one lady, Bubba, came over and said, "Isn't it time for you to die?" And she took the whole roll of pennies and threw it and hit him. Did nothing. I mean, there was true heat back then, and these guys did a great job. Was there a heel growing up for you that you absolutely just hated, and then you look back on it like, "Man, I have so much respect for that guy"? Me, it was Arn Anderson and the Midnight Express, all of them.
Yeah, I mean, the Andersons really stuck out to me because the way they work their matches, you know what I mean, is just like so brutal, and taking a body part and going after somebody's arm and the shoulder, and no one else kind of worked that way that I remember as much. But I'll tell you, I remember thinking, man, I would not want to meet Nikita Koloff when he clotheslined David Crockett during the interview segment. You know what I mean? I mean, that was crazy.
You heard the thud. Yeah. It's like, okay, you won. I mean, I don't think he thought it was coming at that particular moment because he didn't brace himself. Right. He didn't do anything. It was just, he was, and you heard the it come out of him, and that's what it was.
I'll tell you, I hated Cornette though. I remember it just despised him.
My mom
get his ass beat.
Yeah, my mom of this.
Yeah,
my mom of this, my mom of that. It's just, he was so gifted on the mic, and it's the reason why the Midnight Express never had to get on the mic. Bobby didn't need to get on the mic. The one time we played this on, we had a Bobby Eaton tribute, on this show. And the one time I can remember Bobby really getting on the mic was when, I don't know if you remember, when they were the United States Tag Team Champions. The Horsemen were Tully and Arn were the Tag Team Champions. They were on the outside of the ring. And it was like they didn't want to face them. And no, you're good. Well, you're good. Stay in the United States. And then it got heated to where Tully comes over and starts poking on Bobby, you don't need this. You're just a hick. You don't need it. You don't know what it takes to be doing it. And you just shut up, man. You stupid jerk. You bunch of garbage. I mean, he kept saying that you bunch of garbage. I was like, that's why Bobby's not on the mic that much. You stupid piece of garbage. You piece of crap. It was just spectacular. But Jim Cornette's one of the all-time greats on the mic, and you hated him. You wanted to slap him. He was a mama's boy, but he embraced that, and they did that so very, very, very well on that. Ethan, you got some questions for him?
When it comes to the game and it comes to like we were talking backstage, you want to, I want to throw this guy, I want to throw this guy in there, I want to throw this guy in there, but then you have to pump the brakes back in. When you went to get your first licensing, or when you had your first experience after the cease and desist, how awakening was it, where you were just like, man, this is going to be a little tougher than I thought to try to track these people down and get the licensing?
Yeah, because
I had no idea.
We talked about that on the backstage. Did we talk about it here?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, we talked about it backstage.
Okay, the backstage where you were talking about where it got in. I thought we mentioned it to where you had started doing this and you first got your cease and desist letter. Did it? What question? His question? Yeah.
Yeah. So initially the concept was I watch a lot of these retro gaming YouTubers that go around like game hunting and review old games and good stuff like that. And there's a pretty big community around them as well. So I was going to put them in the game and license, because they'd do it for nothing. They just want to be in the game. You know what I mean? So that was the first idea. And I'm like, well, let me see if I can actually get some licenses. And I finally got a hold of Animal. And so he was still alive at the time. And I was able to sign the Road Warriors. So once I got the Road Warriors, I thought, all right, because one of the first things other people ask, well, who else do you have in the game already? Who else do you have in the game? And they're like, well, and if I could say I have the Road Warriors, now they were willing to listen to me and do something with me. So the Road Warriors were first, but it was still tough. Like, I was still had a hard time finding some people. Some people wanted more money than I could afford. Some people, whether they might have been worth it or not, who's to say? But I couldn't pay them what they wanted at the time, so I couldn't get certain people. But in the end of the day, I was really happy with the roster. And if you look at who we have and what they've become since we got them, because we got some knock on, Jeff Cobb's a Ring of Honor guy, wrestles in Japan. Well, now he's in WWE. Nick Aldis, now he's in WWE. You know what I mean? John Morrison went back to WWE. So we got a bunch of guys, in addition to the legends, like Zack Sabre Jr., IWGB champion. You know what I mean? Great career in Japan. Just guys that we liked. And, Chris Bay, unfortunately, he's a little bit on a hiatus. We're not sure what's going to happen with him, but he was just an indie guy when we signed him, and then he made his way to TNA and was doing amazing. You know what I mean? So all these guys turned out like, I don't know. I really got lucky that I signed a bunch of hardworking people that were really working hard and doing great things with their craft to make it as far as they did, and made me look good for signing them onto the game real early.
Yeah, because the roster is fantastic. I mean, like you said, the roster it's in a very eclectic group of people, and I mean, and as big as it is, I'm just throwing this out there. It's a little, have an unlocked character, secret character. The Dav comes out dressed as Big Boss Man. And it'll work. We'll make it work.
Yeah, that would be cool. Yeah, you got people that were humble and wanted to promote themselves and then be a part of something cool. I don't understand sometimes. I get the money aspect of it, but leaving a lineage or a legacy, I think sometimes is more important than money, and being a part of something that's fun. And people don't understand is you can drive a whole lot more people to merch and your things and being a fan of you and your social medias and stuff by doing stuff like this and getting involved in stuff. and I think you got a fabulous lineup, and the Road Warriors being a part of this, and Nikita Koloff is just, is spectacular, and yeah, there's plenty of people that would love to see Iron and Tully and things like that, but there's all a price to that and a pay to that, and I think it'd be fabulous to have Brock Anderson in this game. He looks so much like his dad. He wrestles so much like his dad. He's an old school guy. And Nick Aldis, I love being in this. And why Nick Aldis is not wrestling in the WWE, I think is a big miscarriage. This guy has charisma. He's great on the mic. It was spectacular. I wished him and Camille would lock back up in the WWE. Camilla Brick and just do the role that they were doing there, and do that. It's just a great fun game. You talked about that you were willing to give away some codes for some people.
Yeah, let's do it
right now to be able to do that. And I guess you can email me the code and I'll send it to them.
Yeah,
that way we don't tell them that way. So we'll let you decide how you wanted to give away. Did you want to do a question for folks for this first one? Everybody that's watching, how did you want to go about giving it away? We'll let you come up with the first question there. How many did you want to give away? We'll do that first.
Why don't we want to do 3? Want to give away 3? I don't want to take up too much time, but
all right. Well, then we'll each have a question. Then, Mike, did you want to go first with your question here? And then remember, guys, wait till the questions and the first one.
All right. So what do you say? I got a tough question. But if this is NWA country. I don't know how many listeners are from down there. This is an NWA question. Now, I'll be curious to see who can get this one.
All right.
This tag team was billed, as far as I know, possibly only once on an NWA TV taping, known as the Risky Business Boys. Who were the 2 people that tagged together and they were known as the Risky Business Boys?
Okay.
Who were the Risky Business Boys? Name those 2 wrestlers for your free code of Retromania Wrestling. Give us those names. Everybody's going to Google right now.
That's hard to even find on Google.
Oh, there you go. There you go. We'll see if anybody can get those questions. We'll see if anybody wins.
It was like circa 1986, I want to say. NWA Jim Crockett Promotions.
Okay. Everybody's drawing a blank. I think he's stumped them all. Come on, guys.
I think they came out to Old Time Rock and Roll.
Is that it there? AJ and Jack Ripley?
No.
Google said who? Taylor Dove and Talbot. No.
No.
Is nobody going to get that one?
I'll give a couple hints and we'll see if we can get it. So,
all right, give us the hints there. Then.
If you remember, the James Gang was Dusty Rhodes and Magnum TA when Dusty got banned and he became the Midnight Rider, and they came out with the James Gang.
Antonio Mendoza and come on, guys, and Samuel Adams.
All right. I'll give it.
I'm not eligible, but I think I found the.
Here's an answer here: Chris Vaughn and Rick Santel.
No, they were both former world champions in NWA.
Okay, we'll give it just a little more time.
Well, we'll give them a little more hint. 2 former NWA champions.
Come on, guys.
In the 1980, 85, 86, 87 time frame.
All right, y'all can stop being dumb and answer the question.
All right, too tough.
Come on.
This was too tough.
Come on, guys. So you got 10 more seconds to see what we got here. Come on, you guys have got to know. Come on.
One's finisher was an illegal move, technically, and the other guy said "if you will" a lot.
Was this circa 1986?
Yeah, 86. But NWA World Champions in 86. There weren't that many. And it's not Ric Flair.
Nope. I think you're going to have to answer the question because these ding-dongs need to start watching.
It was
y'all What an embarrassment. Hold on, let me
Ronnie
blow them
Garvin
off.
and Dusty Rhodes.
Y'all are pathetic. I was about
All
to jump
right,
on.
we'll do a quick one then.
Oh, you're a little late, Mark.
Rhodes
Too bad.
and Garvin. Somebody got it. Did they put that in too late?
Yep, put it in too late after you had said it.
Yeah, okay. All right, we'll do this. Which two wrestlers in the NWA were famous for having a best of 7?
Oh, there you go. There you go.
We'll do an easy one.
Say that again so everybody hears it.
Which two wrestlers were known in the mid 80s for having a best of 7 series of matches?
If you guys don't get that, you don't need to watch Double Drop Kick. Come on. It was classic. Boom.
There we go.
There it is. There it is. Platinum swords.
So yeah, just tell Kev what you want as far as a which system, and we'll send you over a code.
There you go.
Works on PS4 and PS5, Xbox One and Series S and X, and Switch 1 and Switch 2.
There you go. He wants to play the game. New guy. Well, you got it, buddy. And then do us a favor. Since he's doing you that, go follow them on all their social media sites. Okay. Go do these guys a favor. This gentleman is coming and taking his time out to do this. And we're going to give away 2 more codes here and not keep him too much longer. But I want to make sure you guys go over and check them out on retromaniawrestling.com. And I want you to go follow them on their socials, Retrosoft Studios on Instagram and on X, and retweet about it. Go tell people about it. This is a guy that's put a lot of work into it, and these hardworking people have put a fabulous and spectacular fun game. Support them. Just like you support small podcasts and small businesses, support a small gaming company. Thank them for what they're doing. Go follow them on X. Let's see. Platinum, make sure you message me which platform you want on, and we'll get the code to you, and I'll message him with the codes of what you want, and we'll do 2 more. Ethan, do you have your question? And everybody congratulate Platinum for getting that. Whoops, that was
Right.
wrong on there. But what are you doing? Yeah, congratulations, everybody.
So I'm relying on ChatGTP for this because I want to make it a good question.
He's on Steam, so he'll want the Steam one. So we'll do that. And but Platinum, please message me that, because I'll email him that, and we will get that to you as soon as possible. So be patient on that, and we'll do that. We'll do that. Great guy. Yes, everybody click. Yeah, support them. They do good. Ethan, what is
this? Should be relatively easy.
Well, let's not make it.
So
too
we all
easy.
know Rick. Well, it's not too easy, but so we all know Ric Flair was the champion of 1986. Who did he finally lose his belt to in the NWA?
Say it again.
So Ric Flair was the champion for the full year of 1986.
Okay.
Who did Ric Flair drop the belt to in the NWA after his run? Shouldn't be a blockbuster one. It should be pretty.
Not Garcia. Tyler says Dusty Rhodes. Nope. Mendoza says Ronnie Garvin.
Correct.
There it is. Mendoza Craft Belts, you've just won a downloaded code of Retromania Wrestling. Oh, yeah! Mendoza, make sure you message me on Messenger what platform you would like to play it on, and we'll make sure that you get your code to be able to do that.
And he doesn't have it on Game Station. I'm just saying, Doza. I know how you are.
All right. The last one that we will do. Trying to think what would be. I'm gonna let Mike have the floor to have my question in. I think that would be fun. What he did. I want him to because he's given
His
away.
His question was good.
Because my question would be not very good probably because nobody likes me anyway. I'm just here for my good looks. Mike, give us another question.
We'll go a little later.
The last one that we'll give away. Yes, I still have that too. Yeah, stop Mendoza. Quit being.
All right, name 2 members of the Varsity Club.
Oh, good one.
About 87, 88.
88.
Yeah, 88. I think it was 88. Yeah, I think you're right.
Two members only of the Varsity Club.
92.
For the last
There we go.
Rotunda and Sullivan. There it is. Sonics Fan 81. You need to go over to Double Drop Kick on Facebook and join there, or message me on Facebook, Kevin Davenport or Ethan Thompson. Get us a hold of us that way. I'm the Kevin Davenport that has the Duke symbol on there. You can do it that way, or on any of our social medias. You can message me that way to get your copy. On just message me on. Oops, let me get your comment out of the way there, Sonics. DDK Podcast. You can message me that way there, or you could go over to Instagram at Double Dropkick Podcast and message me there, or the last place on Facebook, and join our Facebook page and do it there as well. And we will make sure that you guys get your copy. But you guys got to make sure you go to retromaniawrestling.com. And the other things you guys got to do is support Retrosoft Studios and what Retromania Wrestling is doing. He take the time to come here. He ran through 16 deer to get here in his Panzer tank. But Retrosoft Studios on Instagram and X. Is there any other social medias that you guys are on that they can follow?
Facebook, Instagram, X. I think those are the major ones. I think we might be on Blue. What's the newerish one? Blue Sky. Is that it? Is that a thing?
Okay, hold on. Somebody's saying
we just added one. I think it's Blue Sky. It's called.
Kevin, I had Garvin before Doza. Ronnie Garvin.
Check the timestamp.
I have Fair In, Garcia. Then I had Dusty Rose, and then I had Ronnie Garvin, and then right after him, you put Garvin. I can show the screenshots. If
Let's give them both a code. Close enough.
I'm getting ready to ask that. I pay for it.
On me. We'll give them both a code. All good.
There you go. There you go. Hey,
There you go. What a smart guy.
Andy is a great guy. He is a loyal watcher of this program. He will be loyal to you. And before I give you that code, Andy, I want to see that you are subscribed to his X and his Instagram. So you guys make sure you send me those screenshots and the messages before we do that to give away those stuff. Is there anything else you wanted to tell us about this fabulous game before we go, or anything maybe new that might be coming, or anything you guys are working on that for people to know, or what do you want people to know about this game, and anything else that you'd like to drop before we will let you go with your time?
Yeah, I'll just say September 13th, we're going to be in Hartford, Connecticut at the Retro World Expo, which is a retro video game convention. You'll be able to meet Demolition there. They're going to be in attendance helping us promote the game.
Okay.
And I'll just leave with this. The game's made with love. I'll tell you that much. It's my passion project. It's my dream game that I dreamed of when I was 15. And I was lucky enough to get hooked up with a bunch of really talented people and talented wrestlers to help it become a reality. So I'm really grateful to everyone who's helped me on this journey and to help me get to where we've gotten to it. And you're going to love it. You're going to love the new DLC if you've already played the original. If you haven't played the original, go get it. What are you waiting for? Get the original and get ready for the DLC.
Yeah, it's I want to tell everybody, it is such a fabulous game. There's so many elements to it, and then what they're adding, and then the things that you're always looking to add it, and I think you've talked about the belts that'll be coming, and I think there's other titles that you can win, and we do know, everybody stop asking. There is a DDK championship coming, so just chill. They'll do that. We've got it. I'm paying for it. $9,000 is not that expensive, so we'll get it done. We can get that out of. I mean, we got a bunch of people that are rich in our comments that'll pay for that. But I just wanted to thank you. I wanted to tell you personally, I absolutely love your game. I've been a fan of it since day one. I was very humbled that you took the time to come on here and talk with us and be a part of that, and to give away this 3 of these for our fans. We had talked about our 4,000 sub show here. We're at 4,100 now, a little over. That's coming up soon, and he wanted to give away these. That'll tie into that. But your game is fabulous. I think it's such an incredible throwback with such beautiful graphics, such a modern feel to it. It is so smooth that you guys don't rush anything out. You make sure it's proper. You even show that when you were demoing the Rock and Roll Express and their double drop kick, all the moves and animations, and you work to it and you listen to your audience. And I think that's most important. I think too many developers kind of push and don't listen to what their fans want. And you guys absolutely do. And I know everybody wants everything. And sometimes you just got to tell them, you know what, just go make your own. So I said it for you. But we love you, and we're going to continue to push this game for the weeks and months to come, because we love it and we support it, and we support what you guys are doing. Please tell everybody that has worked on that game, the Double Dropkick podcast and the DDK family, thank you. We love it. It's beautiful. Continue to work hard. And if there's anything that we can ever do, anything to announce, anything that you want to show off or send us or say that's coming, just send it on over. We'll put it out there, and we'll tell a lot of folks to check it out and what you've got coming. But I really thank you for your time. I hope you are going to have deer jerky for the next couple of weeks. It is very good. It tastes very good, by the way. And we're glad that you're okay from hitting a deer last week. Everybody don't know. He did hit a deer, and then I hit the floor with all my bleeds. Because I didn't know where he was at. I don't know where's he at, man. And did my competition podcast take him out? I mean, but you make a fabulous game. Ethan, did you want to tell anything to our guest before we let him go?
No, again, highly appreciate you coming on. Thank you for your time. Obviously you ran through deers to get here, and we appreciate it. We appreciate you being generous and giving us some codes to give out. We say it all the time, the people that watch the show, the people that interact with the show, we're highly appreciative of. That's the reason why we're here, and that's the reason why we do what we do and try to bring the content that we bring. But to have a guy like you on, we appreciate it. September's coming around. Everybody's going to get that downloaded content. We're going to get that out. We're going to get that pushed. It's going to be a success.
Yeah, but believe it or not, Christmas is not too far off. The holidays are not too far off. It is a fabulous gift, an inexpensive gift. These guys do sales all the time. For somebody that is a wrestling fan or whatever, they will love this game. It is so much different. I think the graphics look better than some of the stuff that's being done there, because it gives that great old school vibe. You feel like the wrestlers. It takes you back. Give this game as a gift to some people that are just wrestling fans, no matter their age. We have Mark Magger that's playing it, who like I said, who was with Moses making the 10 Commandments. He can even play this game. It's fun. There's story modes to it. There's so much to offer, and so many things. And we'll play that video again when we get out of here to show the people what your game is all about. But Mike, we truly thank you so much for taking the time. You're welcome back here just to talk wrestling, or to tell everybody, to stop messaging you and they can kiss your and that you are not going to put certain wrestlers on. Well, we thank you so much, and we hope you have a great night and enjoy the rest of your holiday weekend. And thank you so much for taking the time out on a holiday weekend to come talk with us. And we hope your car gets fixed very, very soon. And thank you again so much for coming on this program.
Thanks for having me, guys. I appreciate it on my end. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mike Herman from Retrosoft Studios. Take care, buddy. And the Retrosoft champion. Bye-bye now. How cool was that?
Dude, fantastic guy.
What a great guy. I mean, that's the guy that's putting his heart and soul. Like, we put our heart and soul into the show. You're seeing another person that's putting their heart and soul into making a game that's fun, and it's fun for them. And you guys remember, and all those guys that watch this afterwards, don't be too mean with these. Oh, you should do this, you should do that. Do it respectfully, and how cool this would be nice, because it's a passion project for them. They're not getting rich and making millions of this. I mean, if they were, they certainly wouldn't be on Double Dropkick Podcast. I mean, they'd be on the Hammer channel. I mean,
But, like he said, though, he enjoys the criticism, but just do it constructively.
I hope
it's his baby.
Jeez. I hope
it's his baby, and the game's fantastic. And for him to come on the show and just offer up some free codes like that, that's an amazing gesture. We appreciate that.
Yeah. You need some. I heard you ran out all your leather making all them Reggie stamps. I was heard making all them belts for the legacy.
Guido's on the case.
People don't understand. Deer jerky is so very good, and deer meat saves a very, very long time. Yes, it. Max says this game takes me back to my school playing it. Yes, it does. It's got that feel, but it tell them, Max, I appreciate that, Reginald. It means a whole lot. It gives you that feel of a new, because it looks so much better and it plays so much smoother. And then the commentary, and then the little Easter eggs that are in this, and so many wrestling rings and so many things. It's great. And Wayne, we appreciate you coming on there. Have you commented on the show before?
I think he's new. I want to say he's new.
Are you new?
Well, he's a jolly good fellow.
Welcome.
Anyways, yeah.
Welcome. We're going to give him one anyway. Anyway, we're going to do that.
Only because the kitties.
Nobody can deny.
Yeah. There we go. But everybody, this game is a work of love for them. And we're cool. You just make sure you go check them out at retromaniawrestling.com and on all their socials. Retrosoft Studios on Instagram and X. Check them out. It is a really, really, really cool game. For those of you that wanted to see here on DDK Saturday night, we'll play this in just a little bit here. But we're going to switch modes here and bring on our other guy as we get into the second half of our show here. Ethan, you got to tell everybody out there what they're supposed to do, though.
You got to hit that like button, that share button, and that subscribe button, because you never know when you're going to get free stuff, like free games. Y'all got some free video games tonight. Yep. A fantastic game. And all you got to do is just hit that little like button. Yep. You never know what you're going to get.
Yep, that's all you got to do. Let's kick it into our last half of our show here and bring on our guest buddy to talk about some other fun stuff. Let's welcome in the behind-the-scenes guy, and he's usually on our special episodes. Please welcome to the program our third member of the DDK team. Welcome in,
Black Hammer,
Stephen Hammer. DDK is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. He is new. Well, thank you so much. I hope you subscribe. Make sure you put those notifications on, because, like I said, we're going to have our 4,000 subscriber mark that we hit a couple weeks ago. And we're going to give away a belt. And you want to stay around from that. We got plenty of more stuff to give away. We like giving away stuff on here. We just gave away three. We gave away 4. We gave away 4 codes to that game. It pays to watch Double Dropkick Podcast. It pays to support it, and we're appreciative. Hammer, how are you doing, buddy?
Man, I'm tired. It has been such a long day, if I'm just being honest with you guys.
Oh, hold on, Steven. Steven, phalange check. Phalange check.
What? Who?
Oh, phalange check. Check fingers. You got
them all? Yeah. Do you have them all?
Okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
Make sure.
He didn't blow up any of his fingers. That's
that
awesome.
Snap test might have been a lot harder with one hand.
That's right. Yeah.
Yep. You got to do that. Guys, we wanted to talk a little bit here. I wanted to give a shout out to somebody who, as you know, we're a DDK family here, and we have a lot of watchers. Some have to watch it afterwards because of where they live, and things like that. And we appreciate all of you guys that watch the show afterwards. But we had one of our guys is mourning the loss of their pet that is a great guy in the hobby. And we wanted to just send a special shout out to him. Matthew Bartlett, everybody knows him in the community. He lost his that's your best friend. You have a pet like that for 19 years. That's your best friend. And Oscar, our love is out to you, buddy. May you rest in peace. And Matthew, may all the 19 years of memories last your lifetime. We're thinking of you, and you're in our thoughts and prayers. And we're so sorry that you've lost your little buddy and your best friend. So when you guys are done with the show, or even now, just go send Matthew, say, hey man, saw that you heard that you lost your buddy Oscar. You're in our prayers, and hope for some comfort. Ethan and Hammer, I know you pass on that as well.
Absolutely. Can I ask a question? What's the span of a life of a cat average? I don't know.
The average life of a cat usually is around 13 years of age.
19 seems like a pretty steep number for.
Yeah. I had one that made it to 21. Her name was Eclipse. So that's well below their years. And I got one of mine. I call him my best friend, Boba. He knows when my head is bad. He yells at me. He bites my ankles when he knows I'm dizzy. Your pets become an integral part of your life, and they know things and can sense things. Dogs are like that. Cats are like that, and they become your best friends. My cat sleeps. 100%. I'm serious. When I go to bed,
100%
on my arm like that, and he sleeps right there all night long, and he doesn't leave my side. And
as much joy as Matthew gave that cat, that cat gave Matthew so much joy, and vice versa. He gave him a good long life. So he's got to be happy in that he gave that kitty such a long life.
We're still here, buddy. Just a little break to get everything's. Yes, it is. There you go. Yes, losing a pet sucks. So everybody, just send him a message and just tell him, hey man, the belt community is there for you. Wow. And we're thinking of you. Yeah, it's when you start passing 15, you've done something good. Smudge this pitch was like 70. Wow. So boots, rest boots. But just send him a message and let him know that you're thinking of him, and that we wish him all the best, and hopefully those memories last a lifetime for you, buddy, because I know that sucks. But it's time for the picture of the week. So you know what you got to do, Ethan, as we always do when we're getting ready to do picture of the week. You got to tell them, what do we got to tell them?
Roll it.
I don't think they like that.
I don't think they believe me.
Hammer, you do it. You got to give you give it a shout out. You got to roll it loud. Come on, Hammer.
Roll it.
Our picture of the week. Hammer, you okay there, buddy? Our picture of the week comes to us from Ricky Hernandez. Look at that. All blinged up, all sharped out. Absolutely looking spectacular.
Beautiful.
Beautiful belt picture. Spectacular in every single way. That's a beautiful picture there, Ricky. We thank you for sending that in. If you want your picture thought of for Belt of the Week, then you got to do what we tell you every single week. You got to join those groups. Wide World of Belts, Love Those Wrestling Belts, Big Boys Belts, Championship Belt Brothers, and We Collect Wrestling. You got to check those groups out. I know Inner Circle, Belt Masters, a lot of good groups out there. Stick to those ones. I know what's our buddy Terry's the wrestling group. AD Terry's good. I know We Collect Wrestling is another good one. So support all these good groups. But if you want your picture of the week, you got to post them on either my socials or in the Wide World of Belts, where I am an admin and Love Those Wrestling Belts. That's where I choose them from there. and make sure you join those groups. But congratulations, Ricky Hernandez, for Pitcher of the Week.
It's so pretty. It's so pretty.
Also, you guys got to check out Stephen Hammer's Wrestling Belt Reviews. He does great content over there. He's one of the masters of it. He's done it for a very long time. So check out his YouTube page. Go subscribe to him. Stephen Hammer Wrestling Belt Reviews. And join up and sub. He's got over 17,000 subscribers. Go be one of them and check out all his stuff. Great stuff there. You got something new that you just posted. What was your latest one?
I just got a Booker T Chase figure that I uploaded to TikTok. I've been into doing YouTube shorts and stuff lately. So my friend Jimmy Leathers had sent me the Booker T Chase. So I got that one with my television title. I have an HD WWF scratch logo European over here on the table that I have to do a video on. It's not mine. It's my friend Raimundo's. But an HD European. Excited to see that one. I got Ethan's NWA United States coming. I think that will be here Tuesday. So loads of belt content coming to my YouTube channel very soon.
There you go. Check it out. Mendoza, you're in our thoughts and prayers. Send out a prayer for Mendoza with what he's going through with his father. We're thinking of you, and send him a message and tell him you're thinking of him in a prayer.
Remember, Doe's always your bro.
That you're thinking of him. Well, you know that we have a couple of belts that we were talking about last week. That some people had some belts that were out there that they wanted on the DDK belt bar, and we missed last week, so we wanted to put them on there. So, ladies, bring out the belts for sale on the DDK belt bar. The belt for sale that wanted to show off and put up here is actually, and hopefully it's still available. This was as of last week. Keith, there you see his picture here. You got how do you say his last name again?
Sawaya?
Sawaya? Not Sawayan. Bunch there. Sawaya. But he has a fully loaded by Richard Simpson and on Daniel Ripley leather, $1,400 US shipped. And if you understood how much it is to re-leather a belt, as well as Richard Simpson to put all those stones in there, how many stones that are in there, that's a heck of a deal. Check out.
And he looks like he's got the base plates on there too.
Yeah, check out his belt there. That is in the US. That is shipped. So you'll definitely want to check out that belt there. That is for sale over at the DDK belt bar, and make sure you pick that up one as well. The other one that is up for sale is from our good buddy down in Australia. He's a great re-leatherer. It's on his leather. Chris Simmons, check him out. He has a 4.2 millimeter ultra belts re-leathered on his. Has imperfect plates. Asking for pictures of it. I couldn't see anything that would make me not want this belt, especially on leather that's usually about $350 to get something re-leathered. Beautiful work. Great detail on the plate. 650 shipped to the U.S. I've done business with Chris. He is a spectacular and great guy. So you want to check out that belt too.
If you're watching, Chris, send me pictures of that belt.
There you go. There you go. He's interested. You got to do it. Then we also have up for sale is from our good buddy CJ Smith. WWE shop belt with the bag, 250 shipped to your door. Shop belt, absolutely spectacular. So you want to check that one out. Also from our buddy over at the Inner Circle, Zach Hunter Lawson. He has a 4.2 millimeter 24 karat WWE big style, big gold with 2 blank nameplates by Raheel Ahmed. $400. Come on.
I gotta talk to Zach too. I don't have any big goals. Man, I'm gonna have to message Zach now.
What a awesome belt. Also, Wayne A. Aragon has an official. If you guys know this belt, a lot of people want this belt in their collection. It's an official IWGP version 4, 2165. That's exactly what he paid for. Buyer pays shipping. It's Spectacular belt. That is a highly sought after and highly collected belt. So go check him out on that one there too. And get that belt from him. And that's exactly what he paid for it. That is a sought after belt that a lot of people like to get. Did you two have anything that you have for sale? Ethan, you still have yours?
Yeah, the Hammer is going to be reviewing the NWA United States. And then I still have the Nawaz HD Winged Eagle on AJ Leather.
New belt day.
Oh, yeah! Also, for my man Stone Cold, he's got a WCW, what was it, the Cruiserweight? On Mendoza Leather for sale.
Awesome, Wayne.
Message him. He's a follower. He's got a Cruiserweight for sale. He's got oh God, what was the other one he had for sale?
You can put it in the chat.
He's got a couple,
we'll put it on there. We'll put it in the chat.
Yeah, he's got a couple bats for sale. Message Stone Cold. Great guy.
Yep. We'll do that. Also, before we get into the last segment, this is a brand new segment that we're debuting. You know, this show is all about the belt hobby, wrestling, and things like that. We have a brand new segment here that we're going to start doing every once in a while, celebrating your new belt days. Let's roll it. Let's get into them and start congratulating people, because that's what the hobby's about. And then we're going to talk about you little peenie that can't be happy for somebody, needs to be booted out of groups, because that's one of my pet peeves. But let's roll it. Let's celebrate some new belt days. Well, that one gets you pumped up, right? That one gets you pumped up for new belt days. That one gets you pumped up. Congratulations, Brian Villa, on his new belt day that he posted up there. Looking great on that blue. Congratulations to you on your new belt day there, buddy.
Oh, yeah!
Also had a new belt day, Mr. Morris. Yeah, look at that one. Look at that one. The John Cena, saw a lot of these popping up. Oh, yeah, on that one. His brand new belt day. Congratulations on that John Cena belt. Never give up. I don't know who's on the main plate. I see it says John Cena, but I don't see anybody. I think they messed that one up. I don't see anybody on the main plate. Yeah. Anybody see anybody there? I don't see. They should have put. That's where they should have put John Cena, but I can't. I don't see him
out on that one.
Yeah, I don't see it there. So next time, do that.
Oh, pretty please.
Also had a new belt day.
Oh, yeah!
Silva. Look at that, holding it up proudly. The Intercontinental. I believe you said you like this version, Hammer, didn't you? Didn't you say this is a version that you like, or no?
Yeah, this is a good version of. I mean, I'm always going to be a classic Intercontinental kind of guy,
Of course.
But I think the oval Intercontinental is actually a pretty nice belt.
I love the block logo version of this.
Yeah. The block version does look very good. And if you restone the top of those belts, I don't know if this one is just because the light didn't catch it right, but you put new stones in the top 3 of that, boy, does this belt pop. This belt has grown on me over the years just because I guess we're getting so bad at making belts. This one, and it's hard to replace something that's iconic, right? One that follows it never gets the real love until afterwards. But congratulations there, Silva, on your new belt day, buddy. We also had Talmadge get up a new belt. Jeez, harsh.
Right?
New belt day. He put a video on this. Check out his YouTube page, Talmadge Williams. You had a new belt day.
Oh, yeah!
Congratulations to you. I forget who he said made that. Maybe
Ollie Honest. Ollie Honest, after a couple of hard years of trial and errors.
Awesome, Christopher. Post those up in the group when you get them. Congratulations on your new book day. We'll see that and look forward to seeing that. Also, we had a new belt day for Scott Aaron's got a new one.
Oh, yeah!
We got a new big gold with a CM Punk. I'd say bold nameplate there, CM Punk, and great looking belt. Just rolled out of bed and wanted to take a picture of it. But congratulations, Scott, man.
Sometimes
did he leave bed?
You get a brand new belt, You want to put it in bed with you, man. You want to cuddle that belt up real nice and close. It's okay. We've been there. We've all done it. It's cool.
When I got that C4, I fell asleep on the couch with it on my chest. I love that belt. Congratulations, Scott, on your new belt day. Enjoy that big gold. Also, we had Buckner. Bruce Buckner got a new NWA TV title. Looking good there. Congratulations to you. That is a classic, and the NWA TV title, everybody knows, is my favorite belt. That's what I'm talking about of all time. Also, we had Steve getting a new belt day too with the side plates. Congratulations to you on your new belt day with the Cody side plates there, looking good. Good looking picture on it. Scott didn't roll out of bed and just took the picture. Congratulations, Steve, on your new belt day. And last but not least, there's another one of these Cena belts flying out there. Hazard F5. Charles. Congratulations on your new belt day. Were these all limited editions?
I'm not entirely sure.
I believe so. This is my favorite signature spinner belt that Cena has done. The Las Vegas WrestleMania. I think that is the prettiest one that I have seen so far.
This one was not bad done with all the stuff on there, but still, I just don't know why they won't put the picture of Cena in the center of the plate. I just don't see anything there.
Yeah.
But Hazard at 5, congratulations to you and of all of you guys on your new belt days. I wanted to talk about something that I guess already a lot of people had heard. You got it, Roger Leather and belts. You guys are knowing what's going on a little bit more than I do. But big no. That is a maker mark stamp. When you stamp it, I know a lot of people say, "What's it hurt? What's it don't?" That's a maker stamp. It's different from plates, different from reproduction, all that kind of type of stuff. You're putting a maker stamp that says "crafted by." That's a big no and a dangerous slippery slope to where we start doing this, that people can't take those plates off, put some better looking plates on, and then swindle somebody for a whole lot of money off of eBay. I think that's crap to do. I think he's apologized for it. He's saying he was destroying it. But you can't be doing that type of stuff. Hammer, do you want to say anything on this or chat? Did you want to let your voice known on this?
I think doing something like this is disgusting. Putting it nicely, the fact that you're putting a Reggie Parks stamp on the end of the leather. The stamp lets people know, hey, this person made this belt.
That's why
that's why I'm a big advocate on makers stamping their belt. Because if a normal belt maker doesn't stamp their work, nobody has a clue who made it. So this person could buy the belt for $200, but then turn around and try to sell it for $800 and say, hey, this is a Ali Anas $800 belt. Nobody's going to know because there's no stamp.
Yeah, it's happened before.
When a maker is putting Reggie Parks, to me, that is just the lowest of low that a maker could go, is just putting their Reggie Parks stamp on this belt. I think it's disgusting. I've never liked Roger Leather. Zach Lawson has told me some bad stories about him.
Oh my!
Things that he's gone through with this maker, and he's like, never again will he deal with him. I don't mind the RP on the main plate of like an Intercontinental. I don't mind that. I don't mind if it says Reggie Parks replica on the plates. This is where I would draw the line. Reggie Parks stamp. That's disgusting. I think everybody should go on Facebook or Instagram and block this maker. I think anybody who does these kind of stamps should be booted from the hobby, because there's no room. There's no room in a hobby for people putting Reggie Parks stamp and advertising it as a Reggie Parks belt, and then immediately deleting that post when called out about it. I think he's just a terrible person, in my opinion.
Hammer just laid it down. I've never seen Hammer like that. Jeez, Hammer. Ethan, what you got on this? This was the week that I was down while this was mainly happening.
I'm going to keep mine a lot shorter. If you're a maker from America or Pakistan and you put a Reggie Parks stamp on your belt, you should lose your job.
Yeah, it might not Mendoza, but the point of you got new people coming into the hobby today. You got a lot of people that don't know plates or don't know this or what belts looks like. We just had Mike Herman on. He probably wouldn't know the difference in looking at. He would probably think that's a real one because he's never doesn't get into a whole lot about. It's about what you're doing with it elsewhere. Yeah, it's not going to pass in many of these groups, and many of us are going to know. It's what you're doing elsewhere. And the thing with the Reggie Parks is the stamp, and I think you agree with that too, Mendoza. It's what they're doing with it elsewhere outside of the mainstay of the hobby. But it says crafted by, and it wasn't crafted by. I think Matt over at All Elite Belts has been talking with him. I know a lot of people have been messaging. Yeah, Max, strap on the hammer. I don't agree with it. I think it's low. And we were talking about kayfabe belts. Yeah, if you make a real true kayfabe belt, you don't stamp it at all. And then nobody knows who makes it. That's the meaning of true kayfabe. But
you can't just slap your stamp all over it and then claim you're not a bootleg maker.
He claimed that a cancer patient asked for the strap. I don't care who asked it. You got to say no and say no. This is I can't do this because I didn't make it. This says crafted by Reggie Parks. It's a no.
Yeah, and I think that maker said that he stamped something on the back of it that said, "Oh, this is not a Reggie Parks belt." But I don't think he ever came forward with those pictures of the back of the belt. So again, man,
it might not even be 5K. You never know. People get all the time took on eBay. There's a lot of people that are gullible. There's a lot of people that are uneducated on it. And you saw that Hogan belt being sold for like 15 grand. We did a series on here of some other maker. What was that maker that was selling them on eBay? All these fake. There was another fake Reggie and a fake Milliken. He even spelled Milliken wrong, and he was putting the Milliken, and he even spelled Milliken wrong. He had them up there. It's about what they're doing to other people, and I just don't want people to get, Well, I mean, if you get robbed, I don't think it's that person's fault necessarily. If you're walking down the street and you get robbed and you get took because you were doing something, I don't think it's entirely your fault. I just say it's a no to put crafted by Reggie Parks because it wasn't crafted. There you go. But that is what happened over the weekend, and wanted to make people aware of that. I think he has said to people that he apologized and didn't mean for all that to kind of happen, this, that, and the other. I don't know. I don't know what else went on with it. Did anybody else? You guys add anything to that? To what maybe
I didn't hear it.
I can't. I can't find it on Instagram anymore. I did check before the show. I couldn't find it on Instagram.
No, he took it down.
Okay.
In my opinion, his apology doesn't mean crap. And he's not the only one in Pakistan that has done this. We know Great Custom Belts has done it. They have done a JMAR stamp, and there are other makers too. Because I have another friend who got a block logo European with a JMAR stamp on the belt because that's what he wanted on his belt. Made by JMAR, all that stuff. Beltster.com in the leather work. But that's his belt. He's keeping it for his collection. He said he doesn't ever plan to sell it. It's for him. But still, makers do this all the time, and I think it's just pure trash to sit there and make a Pakistan belt and put crafted by Reggie Parks, crafted by Jamar. It's just disgusting that people do this.
Yeah, I get you on that one. So hopefully he'll stop. Yes, this has been done in the hobby before. There have been some makers that have made it kayfabe, and it got out, and then it got sold, and the person that sold it, that was not supposed to sold it to a person and didn't tell the truth about it, and then other people got involved. So it has happened in the hobby before, and that just is it's a black eye on the hobby, and many people don't want that. I certainly don't want that. But this is the other thing that I saw a couple days ago. This was on somebody having a new belt day. And you see the comment down there by this gentleman, Paul, absolutely rip off for a bootleg. I don't know what people's problem is. I don't know why you got such a terrible life that you can't enjoy whatever anybody gets. You certainly don't have any room for wide roller belts for this. I know groups that these guys, admins, and everybody else that said, don't need this. If somebody asks you for your critique or what you think of the belt, you can give it respectfully. But this wasn't even asked. This was just somebody celebrating their new belt day. This discourages stuff. This is one of my pet peeves. I think it's wrong to do. And for you to do that, I don't think you'd appreciate it if anything that you ever posted on there that you be that. I just don't like it. And I think it's very cruel. I think it's very ignorant. And it shows a lot about that you're a pretty sad individual. If this is what you want to do, you should apologize to this person and not do it. It's why some new people that I know personally, some people that don't want to post stuff because they and I know people say toughen up and this, that, and that. Has nothing to do with that. Has nothing to, you don't want negativity on something that you're trying to celebrate.
Yeah.
That's all. You can still have tough skin, and we have tough skin. I have tough skin. This person doesn't matter that. You just don't want to see it on something you're trying to celebrate because it's just a bummer. It's just a down thing. Ethan?
No, I agree. It's just, unhappy people want to make other people unhappy. Could have not said anything, could have moved on. And
the big gold has no what am I looking for? The big gold is not copyrighted. And many people make the crumb rind differently. Many people make the big gold differently. They do it different ways. So I don't know much about that there, Austin. But the crumb rind and the big gold is not copyrighted unless you're using the WWF logo. Making a silver textured crumb rind. Maybe they were trying to just make it different. But I do know Top Rope makes some great belts, but I don't know much about what you're talking about there, Austin. You have to message me and let me know more about what you're talking about there. Yeah, we'll do it. There you go, buddy. I know that's your favorite sound effects. Yeah, common courtesy and respect. Ethan, did you finish up on your point about this?
Yeah, it's just not necessary.
Hammer?
Yeah, I mean, you really don't have, if you don't like something, you really don't have to comment. It's really that easy. You could easily just scroll right on by. You don't have to leave a comment like this. You don't like kind of like what Ethan said, hurt people. And that's basically, this guy has a lot of growing up to do to be in a private group, and for Talmadge to post his new belts and be like, hey, I finally got new belts. And I think those belts look good. I think they look really good. And then this guy just needs to grow up, in my opinion. Grow up.
Yeah, Austin, anybody can, there's no on the big gold, there's no and the crumb rind on that, there's no copyright on that unless you're putting the WWE logo. Now that part is copyrighted. But yeah, anybody can make that belt. I've seen all silver ones made. I've seen ones that if people want to customize their belt with whatever color, I mean that's kind of the thing that they want to do.
Yep.
But yeah, there's no copyright on that thing. I'm just investing a lot of time in big old woods. Yeah, there is. You're right, Austin. There's tons of time. You can dive in a big old rabbit hole and get all dived into that. That's a pretty big thing to come there on that one. Before we get out of here, Ethan, you got anything that you wanted to address real quick? No?
I don't think so.
Anything that's happening? Some cool stuff coming that you've got in the works?
Still working. I'm still working.
There you go. Today is what?
Saturday, July 5th.
Yep, that's right. On the 19th, we got a great guy coming that we interviewed on Facebook only, but July 19th, Figure Kingdom is going to come on the show, so we are excited about that. We've got a topic show next week is our topic show next week. And we also have Hellfire Designs next week. So we got a topic show after that, but Hellfire Designs will be here. Craig Took, he will be here. Hellfire Designs, they make some incredible, beautiful designs. Some of the TNA, if a lot of people watch TNA wrestling, you'll see his designs there. He's going to be on the program next week, July 12th. He'll be on with us, and we're going to have some fun time with him. And then afterwards, we've got Figure Kingdom and some other future guest that we'll have on the program is going to be a whole lot of fun too. Sad to comment on it. Yeah. It's just, say something nice or moved on. Yeah, they don't own they own their logo part of it. Yeah. Their logo is copyrighted, and that's the part that's copyrighted.
Yeah, and that big gold, like that could be a whole show topic by itself, due to the original, the Vegas, the all gold cast copy WCW had, the 2D textured, the 3D big gold.
The Ready to Rumble big gold.
Ready to Rumble big gold. Like there are so many layers to a big gold belt. It's just a beautiful belt, though.
We appreciate that. Steven, I thank you so much, buddy, for coming on here and being a part of the second half of the show and coming on, and hopefully you'll be able to join us a little bit more when you're off on the Saturday. We know Nicole's feeling a little bit under the weather.
Yeah.
A little bit of spider bite, so tell her we hope she feels better, and that Steven's got to do a better job of squashing spiders. So tell her, give us our best with us, and Steven, thanks you do for all of us, and go check out your page and everything that you do there. Steven, love you, buddy. We'll see you soon.
You guys have a great night. See ya.
See you, buddy. Big E. We'll look forward to what you got going on. We'll see you next week with Hellfire Designs, man. Thank you, man.
Word up, homie. Bye.
I appreciate everybody that has watched tonight. We've had a lot of fun with everybody. I can't wait. The NWA concept, and then also there's the NWA big gold that was made by Leather Rebels for the new NWA Billy for them to use that they passed on. That's a great belt, beautiful belt too. Where's out? Kevin has a camera in my bathroom. He sees me always. Of course. How can I check? I got to make sure you're regular, man. But I think, I thank everybody from a water tower. I thank everybody for watching tonight. We had a great night. I want you all to make sure that you guys go over and give them over a follow over at Retromania Wrestling. Thanks so much to Michael Herman, the owner and lead team on the Retromania Wrestling game and the owner of Retro Studios. Make sure you go and join and download Retromania Wrestling. It is on PlayStation, Xbox, Switch, and Steam. Just go on there, download it in all their stores. It's an incredible game, a fun game, and we thank him for coming on and giving away the free stuff that he did. And I thank everybody for joining us on DDK Saturday night. I can't wait till next week. Throw those DDKs up, and we'll see you out of here. We can't wait till next week. And as always, I want you guys to remember that you got to stay kind, stay humble, and we'll see you next week right here on Double Dropkick. DDK Saturday night is out. Take care, everybody.